For me, what really stood out is that AI isn't being presented in the white paper as a future concept. It's already embedded in the day-to-day recruitment activity, and that's absolutely what I'm seeing on the ground. The white paper is clear that this is not theoretical. AI is already in a lot of recruitment businesses handling large parts of the sourcing, the screening, admin and coordination, and that's absolutely consistent with what I'm seeing on the ground every week. What I think is most important, though, is the shift in where human value sits. As AI removes volume heavy transactional work, it forces a much more honest conversation about the recruiter's role itself. The people who add value through judgment, influence, client partnership, and decision making, these are the people that are really going to thrive in this new environment. Those, however, who relied on process to carry them through performance are really going to start to feel exposed. So it really isn't just a technology shift. It's very much a role redefinition. And in some cases, this is a very uncomfortable conversation to be had. And that comes through far more strongly than the usual efficiency type narrative that we see around AI. The biggest cultural change isn't the fear of AI. It's actually what AI itself is going to reveal within an organisation. The second part of the white paper I found really highlights that as the admin and the process work disappears, expectations are really starting to change. And quite often that change is happening without leaders realising it. Recruiters suddenly have more time on their hands, but not every organisation has been clear about how that time should be used, or in fact what good looks like in the new AI-enabled environment. And that's starting to create real tension across businesses because some people are starting to feel threatened, they're starting to feel lost, while others are actually racing ahead and widening that performance gap. The other major challenge that I see is management capability, because I found the paper to be really blunt that AI transformations succeed or fail very much in that middle management layer. And I agree with that entirely. Many managers are expected to lead this big behavioural change without being fully equipped to do so. And that creates frustration and quiet resistance rather than genuine adoption. The cultural shift doesn't happen within organisations because you've gone out and you've bought technology. The shift really happens when leaders actively redefine roles and measures and behaviours. And that's really the hard bit for organisations. That's really because AI doesn't fix poor data, it just amplifies it. The white paper is really clear on this. AI is only as good as the data it's been trained on and the data it's consistently fed thereafter. If your data is inconsistent, incomplete, and has been shaped around years of workarounds, AI just scales those problems that you have so much faster. What's changed isn't the visibility. It's historically poor data was inconvenient, but it was absolutely survivable. With AI, though, that now becomes a commercial risk. Decisions are being made so much faster. Patterns are being trusted far more readily. And errors now, they carry so much more weight. So that's why data ownership, governance, and accountability suddenly matter in a way that they just didn't matter before. And it's not about us all becoming suddenly data scientists, but it is about being really disciplined enough to treat data as an operational asset, not simply as an afterthought. I would say there's still quite a big gap between interest and readiness. Most recruitment businesses that I work with are absolutely experimenting with AI in some shape or form. Tools are definitely being bought, and in some cases being bought in bulk. Pilots, I do see them running, and there's absolutely genuine curiosity. And that aligns very much with the white paper's findings around uneven but growing adoption. Where I would say readiness falls down, however, is in that role clarity and leadership intent. Many recruiters haven't been told how their role is expected to change, or what skills are going to matter more, or how performance is going to be assessed in this new AI-enabled environment. The willingness is absolutely there, but the structure to support it isn't. And businesses, they are making progress, but the ones that I see making the genuine progress are the ones that are actually slowing down enough to ask themselves a few simple questions. What work should humans still be doing? What decisions require judgment? And what capabilities do we actually still need to develop within our business? And that for me is where the readiness piece really comes from. For me, the biggest thing that I found is that the white papers, they just cut through the noise and they deal with the reality that I see recruitment leaders really facing in today's environment. What I liked about the white papers was that they very much avoid both extremes. It's not the AI hype that you often hear, AI is going to make you the most efficient organisation there is, but it's not doom and gloom either. For me, the white papers address the practical, the human, and the leadership implications that, for me, most articles that I'm certainly reading skip over. For APSCo members in particular, I think the white papers do three really important things. They ground AI adoption in the real world operating model. They force really honest conversations about the recruiter role that I think we absolutely all need to be having. And they also highlight where leadership and management capabilities in particular need to start evolving. I found the white papers a genuinely useful reset for leaders who know that change is coming, but that want to approach it thoughtfully rather than reactively.